the Filipino-Canadian community, I would like to offer my deepest condolences.
We Filipinos have proven time and again na sa oras ng sakuna at trahedya, our bayanihan spirit shines through. My name is Bianca Gonzalez and this is TFC's BRGY special episode, Bayanihan, Healing as One. We have overcome many tragedies, disasters, and heartbreaks, not only because we are resilient as people, but because in times of great crisis and need, tayong mga Pinoy maaasahan na dadamay, tutulong, at yayakap. Just recently, what was meant to be a celebratory event for the Filipino community in Vancouver, Canada, had since become a heartbreaking memory para sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na sa mga pamilya ng mga biktima. They need our help to recover, our healing embrace now more than ever. Here's a look back at what happened on that fateful day.
It was meant to be a celebration, a tribute to Filipino heritage, culture, and unity. Thousands from Filipino communities in Vancouver gathered for the Lapu-Lapu Day Festival to celebrate our history far from home. But in a moment, joy turned to grief, celebration turned to chaos. The sound of screeching tires and cries for help pierced the air. Lives were changed. Lives were lost. Filipino community was left in mourning. Amidst a tragedy, we mourned, but we also moved, turning grief into action and pain into purpose. The Filipino spirit of bayanihan endures, lifting each other up. We remember those we lost, and we stand with those who are healing. United in grief, united in hope.
Mga kapamilya, the Between Escalante.
Bianca, thank you so much for
My
having me
goodness, your talent is unmatched and your voice heals. Thank you so much for being with us
Thank you for
today.
having me.
Of course, to our kababayans watching in Canada, in Vancouver, what is a message of hope, I guess, that you'd like to share with them?
We may be so far away. I have a cousin in Vancouver. And my husband has a seminary brother in Vancouver. I have aunts in Vancouver. And I just want to say that we hold space for you no matter how far. Call us when you need us. We are here. Tuloy natin ang bayanihan spirit ng Pilipino. Hindi madali, pero nandito tayo magkakasama.
I'm sure your song touched their hearts, but I can actually see you up close. You're teary-eyed, you're a bit shaky. You really sang that song feeling the message.
These things don't defeat us. We will rise from these events.
Such a beautiful reminder. Muli maraming salamat. And kakamustahin naman natin ang lagay ng ating mga kababayan in Vancouver after a short break. But from your message, here are more messages of support, love, and hope.
Was deeply affected, and I want to send my condolences to the families that are affected by this event. And I'm hoping that the community will come together again to help support the families affected by this tragedy. Maraming salamat, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Dassy.
I'm JC. We're from the band Dassy here in Vancouver.
We just wanted to send our love and support to everyone affected during the Lapu-Lapu Day tragedy. As Filipino Canadians, our community means everything to us.
Your strength and resilience inspire us every day, and we're standing with you, sending all our love.
Hi everyone, my name is Nikayla, and I'm a Filipina Canadian artist based here in Vancouver. To those who are affected, we see you, we grieve with you, and we support you in every way that we can. We are kapwa, one in strength, but also one in sorrow. Maraming salamat and sending my love always.
And joining us now from Vancouver is the chair for Filipino BC, Mr. RJ Aquino, and a member of the Vancouver Kensington Legislative Assembly, Miss Mabel Elmore. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, before anything else, from all of us here, we are sending our love and prayers to you guys and everyone affected in Canada. We'd like to start by, of course, asking you, how is the Filipino community in Vancouver coping after this heartbreaking incident?
There's still a lot of grieving, a lot of processing the information. A lot of people are still really mourning and visiting the area as memorials have popped up there, and as a way to just reflect and kind of gather in silence and be present with each other. And it's not just the Filipino community, it really is the city as a whole, the province, the country as a whole. It feels like we're still, you know, trying to process what had happened, and still feeling a lot of grief and sorrow, especially as, people are on the road to recovery, but also as we're remembering those that have passed.
I can only imagine how difficult this whole process is. But at the same time, knowing Filipinos, after something like this happens, we go into action right away. And so I wanted to start with you, Mabel. What have been the initiatives of the city immediately after to reach out to everyone affected?
Well, I was there on the ground when it happened, and the volunteers sprung into action to help those who were injured. The first responders came immediately, Vancouver Police Department. We saw the City of Vancouver immediately offer support and provide counseling services to the community, as well as meeting space. And RJ will talk about the Resilience Center. So Filipino BC, the Filipino community really stood up and led the emergency task force. So the city has responded, the provincial government has responded, and also the federal government has pledged their support. So it's really all levels of government, the whole Filipino community, and really Canadians right across the country who have really poured their hearts out to support the victims and those impacted.
Yes, RJ, please do tell us more about what the Pinoy community specifically did to come together right after that happened.
I mean, after sort of the shock of it all, and as we're trying to just gather ourselves and make sure that our friends and family and other people that we've been working with on that day have been accounted for, Filipino BC convened this joint task force, which includes the City of Vancouver, the provincial health authorities, the Archdiocese, and several other organizations like the Red Cross, like United Way, who we've brought all to the table for this crisis response. And through this task force, and as Mabel mentioned earlier, we were able to open Papua Center for Community Resilience. And it really is this space that's been created for people to gather and heal and to have access to more professional and formal supports. And there's really an amazing response, not just through this center, but really throughout the entire Filipino community, as people have mobilized for fundraisers or mutual aid efforts like meal trains and just making sure and checking up on each other. And I think that the most uplifting thing throughout all of this is just seeing how much people try to connect with each other to make sure that everyone is okay.
I was curious, RJ, I know there are many stories that you can share from the ground, but what is one, I guess, most memorable that comes to mind that you'd like our global Filipinos to hear about the inspiring efforts there?
So imagine organizing an event as large and as complex as Lapu-Lapu Day, the Lapu-Lapu Day Festival, which, you know, some accounts have already estimated there were about 100,000 people that attended throughout the day. And then the exhaustion, the work, and then the overall excitement of organizing and launching an event, then this incident happens, and how quickly, you know, the volunteers and other members of the community have come together to react to this. So carrying that energy forward into a crisis response, into turning tragedy into action, and then making sure that everyone is taken care of. I think that's one of the most inspiring examples of how quickly the Filipino community was able to mobilize, how Filipino BC has been this focal point in ensuring that there is a coordinated response. And since then, like, a lot of people have accessed the Resilience Center, and there's this new recognition of what it means to heal or take care of yourself through a tragedy like this. Because as much as Filipinos are known for their resiliency, we also want to make sure that there are structural and systemic things in place to ensure that people are taken care of, that we're not just resilient for resilience sake. There is basically a formal way, an official way to be able to access these supports, and in a coordinated response like this allows people to be confident in that they're able to basically gather in a safe space, have this resilience center. Even people who weren't there at the festival, people who heard about it from other municipalities, come in and find themselves wanting to connect with others because they felt that they feel great sorrow over that tragedy. They want to be with community. They want to connect with others. This highlights the need for people to build community, especially after a tragic event like this.
Like you both mentioned, the healing process, it's really a journey. It will take time. And I know that all these efforts will continue. RJ, is this correct? The United Way Fund, Kapwa Strong, you do have an initiative with the Red Cross coming soon and other plans. Can you tell us about, I guess, what you have in mind moving forward?
Well, again, it's amazing that other Filipino communities across Canada and really across the world, like we've heard from other Filipino communities, they've organized their own fundraisers, organized their own benefits and memorials. Recently, today, the province of Manitoba they're matching donations for the Kapwa Strong Fund. And as far as, other efforts and coordinating efforts, we started a case manager from the Red Cross today who's working with us to have that full-time effort in identifying victims' needs and working with the victims' families to make sure that their needs are being met. And what the entire community is reckoning here is that this event has changed the community forever. And we are responding to the immediate crisis and what people need for their recovery in the long term.
It's so unfortunate that all of this happened, but at the same time, it's so amazing and inspiring to hear all your efforts. Thank you so much, RJ, and to the entire community. But like you mentioned earlier, policy is as important moving forward. So I did want to ask you, Mabel, what are the city's initiatives to ensure that something like this will never happen again?
Well, the City of Vancouver has undertaken an internal review to look at all the processes, the safety protocols in place for festivals and public events. And so the provincial government has also launched a review of the Mental Health Act, and also a commission to look right across the province to ensure that people are safe. That's a priority as well. And we have the investigation ongoing by the Vancouver Police Department. The one piece I will also say in terms of commitment, the provincial government and federal government has committed to build a Filipino cultural center. And we view that as an important commitment to look at how the community heals, moves forward, and really has a place to gather and call their own. That's a commitment from both the City of Vancouver, provincial government, and federal government to really support the Filipino community. And I think that that's also incredibly powerful. It's touching. we're supporting the families who have just experienced incredible loss. There are people injured in the hospital that we're praying for their support and recovery. And it takes our whole community to come together to support us to heal.
It's great to hear all those plans and commitments because it talks about action not just in the next few months, but for the long haul. Thank you so much, RJ and Mabel, for joining us. Before we let you go, of course, we'd like to ask for your message to our kababayans, the Filipino community in Vancouver.
So my call and my message is for the community to come together. It's an incredible difficulty and challenge, but I know that our community has the potential to come together, to support each other, to support the victims and the families, and we will emerge stronger and more united. So I have faith in the community and also our broader Canadian community for us to unite through this difficult time and really focus on supporting the victims and the families, and that we will emerge stronger.
And I want to say that, you know, we continue to, again, grieve and mourn, and we recognize, you know, the overall pain and heartbreak that our community, along with the greater community here, is feeling, and that there is an ongoing need for collective healing. But what I also see out of this is a tremendous outpouring of support, that this is now the best of our community stepping up. Like this past weekend, local gym, boxing gym, Quinnet Boxing, has raised more than $17,000 at its weekend fundraiser, and local chef TJ has organized Filipino chef meal train and has been delivering meals to victims. And this is what's helping the community heal, and what allows us at Filipino BC to concentrate on our number one priority, and that's ensuring we're there to support people so that they can continue to recover from this tragedy.
Once again, thank you so much, RJ Aquino and Mabel Elmore. We truly appreciate you sharing your stories and your thoughts with us. Maraming salamat. Healing one another, especially in times of great disaster, is of course a shared responsibility. And we are making sure, along with RJ, Mabel, and all our kababayans abroad, that no one is left behind. We are one with the Filipino community there in Vancouver. Coming up next, RJ actually talked a bit about them earlier. We will meet more Filipino heroes when Bayanihan Healing as One returns.
What's up, y'all? It's Conception here. And I just wanted to send my love and strength to those who were affected by the tragic event that happened out here at Lapu Lapu Day in Vancouver. We rise together, we heal together, and we move forward with love to honor each other. Stay strong, stay connected. We're with you and I'm with you with love and respect.
Sumalangit nawa ang mga nasawi. Rest in peace to all those that tragically lost their lives that day. My prayers, my condolences are with you.
The healing power of Bayanihan lies in unity, the way we rebuild lives, restore hope, at yung sabihin natin sa isa't isa na hindi tayo nag-iisa. We find strength in our togetherness and we find healing in being one. And right now, to share with us their overwhelming stories of heroism to help our kababayans recover and heal, joining us are the founder of Calamansi Collective, Chris Pangilinan, chef consultant and owner of onovancouver.com, Chef TJ Conway, and two-time national champ and owner of Quinnet Boxing, John Quinnet. Hello, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I wanted to start with you, Chris. Chris, I heard that you were there when it all happened. And so I guess what I want to ask is, how are you personally healing and moving forward after the incident?
Yeah, well, it was traumatic to say the least, but I have a great support group around me, a lot of great family and friends that have been surrounding me with a lot of love and have been helping me. And also going to therapy has helped a lot. Understanding that, you know, there could have been things that I could have done, but at the end of the day, I have to take care of myself and take care of my loved ones, and I'm very happy that I left unscathed. And I unfortunately saw it. However, I'm physically okay.
You did say the word support, and that is exactly what you three are doing for the Filipino community in Vancouver. Chris, can you tell us a bit about what you are doing with Calamansi Collective to help the Filipino community affected by this?
Of course. So we're based in Toronto and we actually went to Vancouver for the event. So we have three really important shirts that we have created in the past. One is called Mabuhay More Life. We talk about how it is a welcoming statement in the Filipino culture. Another is Together We Rise. We talk about crab mentality. And then the third one is the kindest people in the world. So whenever you talk to someone who has met a Filipino, they say they are the kindest people in the world. So these three shirts had different meanings up until what happened in Vancouver. But after Vancouver, we thought these three shirts have meant so much more to the Filipino community in Vancouver that we decided to donate 100% of the proceeds of those shirts to Lapu Lapu Day and Filipino BC and the victims of the tragedy.
100% of the proceeds. Grabe, mabuhay,
Yes.
mabuhay ka, Chris. When you donated the proceeds so far, would you know where exactly your donation went? It went to helping which exactly?
Yeah, so it helps victims, those who are still in hospitals, the victims' families as well. I understand that there have been some family members that flew in from different parts of the country or outside of the country that needed a place to stay. So they were able to book hotel rooms with them. This would also help those who need help with prescription drugs or any other financial assistance while they're away from work. And it also helps the community because I understand that Filipino BC is looking to build a Filipino community center in Vancouver. And this is something that was their goal since day one. And so this money will also go towards that community and support them. They also have opened up a resilience center that can help those who've been affected by this tragedy find some support or love every day. So this, a lot of these things are volunteer based. However, they do need some financial support and, everything that we provide, we know that it goes back to the community.
Thank you, Chris. Let's go over to Chef TJ. Of course, you are a chef, a community leader, and your help was in your own unique way. Please do tell us about the train meals that you created for the volunteers.
Yeah, so traditionally in Vancouver, whenever there's people that need help, we form a meal, what's called the meal trains. So basically, right away after the tragedy happened, me and a bunch of Vancouver Filipino chefs started texting each other, and then just kind of feeling helpless, trying to figure out what we can do together, and we essentially just started talking about forming a meal train for our fellow kababayan and also people that have been affected. And like naturally, even at the time that we are having this tragedy, everybody thinks about what anong kakainin nila, what are they gonna eat. So this is what we started doing, and yeah, we're still doing that right now.
That is very inspiring and I think empowering that you can do it not just right after, but even in the weeks after. It's an ongoing journey and an ongoing process, and you're right there with them. And what's interesting is earlier you said it came from this feeling of helplessness. So from feeling helpless, you guys came together to help, and that's what took you out of that feeling.
Exactly, and I always tell the victims or the families of the victims is that they're actually helping us because we're being able to contribute, or we're being able to at least feel like we're helping them, and it makes us feel good. I don't know if it's naturally because of Bayanihan, because of being Filipino, it's just a natural thing that we need to do right away when somebody's one of our community members is not well. So it really comes from that, and out comes something good.
Thank you very much, Chef TJ, and thanks as well to all the other chefs in our community there doing this with you. I'd like for us to move over to John. RJ talked a bit about what you have done earlier. He mentioned it, that you did have a fundraising in your boxing center. So what inspired you to come up with this? And you raised $17,000, is that correct?
Yeah, we were luckily to raise 17,000 from our community. We actually originally had a fight card. We decided that it probably wasn't the right timing to do a fight card, so we decided to put our heads together and try to put a fundraiser together for the victims. So we did a raffle. We had a beautiful response of 72 businesses. We actually had to stop taking more businesses because we had such an overwhelming response. So 72 businesses offered their services, and the thought process was also to have the community come together. We put some Manny Pacquiao fights in the background in our gym. So I wanted to give a feeling of our culture and come together and try to, do something good for our community after such a sad tragedy that happened.
I can imagine that those who attended were not just Filipinos.
Yes, there's a big support of non-Filipinos there as well. We're right in East Vancouver as well, right where close to where the tragedy happened. But yeah, we had a lot of support from other cultures as well that came by, which was very cool to see.
You guys are doing such amazing work. Thank you so much for sharing all your stories with us. I think it empowers everyone watching this that we're not just one person. We can actually do something to mobilize our community, no matter how big or small, to make an impact and to help other people. So muli, maraming salamat. I would like to ask you three for your short message to our Filipino community in Vancouver, especially, of course, to the families of the victims.
Yeah, so to our community in Vancouver, from Kalamansi Collective here in Toronto, we're very, very sad that this has happened. However, we know that this community is so strong. We know this community is resilient, and we know you guys are always going to show up. And as Filipinos, we stick together like rice. So that's how we're going to do this, and that's how we're going to get through all of this. So we're sending our love from Toronto all the way to Vancouver, to Manila, and all over the world for those who've been affected.
I just want to let them know that we're here. Like whatever we can contribute, whether it's food, whether it's somebody to talk to and somebody to cry, shoulder to cry on, we are here for them. Mental health is very important. It's not something that we always think about. Make sure that you're talking to somebody and make sure that you're checking on your friends. And then lastly, yeah, if anybody still need food out there, we're up to about 2,000 meals now, but we're gonna keep going until somebody needs us. We're here. Please reach out, and we'd love to be able to at least provide for you that one bowl of arroz caldo or adobo or anything like that we can at least remind you of your home cooking or your mom's cooking.
Lastly, John, your message?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm thinking of the victims and the victims' families and everyone that was affected by this tragedy. Just thinking about them, and I want to say that they're not alone, and I think that's what all of us are trying to do, is trying to show that we showing the community that we have and how strong Filipinos are connected. We're kind of almost born into a connection with everybody. And yeah, I just want to say that I feel for them. And yeah, we have our boxing gym in East Van. If anyone needs to hit the bag or let some stress out, like that's what we do for the gym, is to kind of make that gym kind of a place where they could just relieve some stress and forget the things outside of the gym. Again, really thinking of the people that were affected by this tragedy.
Thank you so much, John. Once again, thank you for all that you do, and maraming salamat for joining us. Thank you so much, Chris, Chef, and John. We would like to thank Chris, Chef TJ, and John for keeping the Bayanihan spirit alive. It's more than just helping hands, diba? It is hearts beating as one.
Hi everyone, this is AC Bonifacio. I just want to send my deepest condolences and love to the Filipino community in Vancouver. This hurts me so much more because Vancouver is home. In times like this, I hope we can all hold on to the spirit of Bayanihan, of unity, compassion, and hope. Please know that you guys are not alone. We are praying for you. Nandito po kami to support you and stand with you. Let's continue to lift each other up.
Hi everyone, this is Darren. Hello to the Filipino-Canadian community over there in Vancouver, Canada. When we heard about the tragedy that struck, it was definitely heartbreaking. It was such devastating news because it's not something that's likely to be happening, especially in Canada, and it's not something that you hear about every day, and it's something that truly just crushed our hearts. So to all the families of the victims that were affected by this, we are with you guys, we are one with you, and our thoughts and prayers are always with you guys. Please stay strong, and may God bless each and every one of you. Maraming salamat po.
To our Filipino community in Vancouver, our hearts are with you, and you've shown incredible resilience, and we see your strength. Know that we stand with you, offering love and support. Let's face this together, knowing that we're all doing our best, and brighter days are definitely ahead. God bless.
To all of our kababayans in Vancouver, my heart goes out to each and every one of you. What happened was a tragedy that shook us all, but in this darkest moment, we have to showcase the strength of our community. Know that you are not alone. We are with you all the time. We are here to mourn with you, to heal with you, and to stand with you. And whatever happens, that is who we are as Filipinos. Let's continue to lift each other up because that's who we are as a kapamilya and as a Filipinos.
Hello po sa mga kababayan natin sa Vancouver. Pinagdadasal ko po na malagpasan niyo ang pagsubok na ito. God bless po sa inyo.
We are BGYO, and we just want to say that our hearts go out to everyone who is affected by the tragedy during the Lapu-Lapu Day Festival in Vancouver.
To the families and the loved ones of those we lost, please know that you are not alone.
The whole Filipino community is with you.
And we believe in the strength of Bayanihan, our way of coming together in times of need.
Let's keep showing up for one another with love, with support, and with hope. Mananalangin po kami kasama niyo.
Nakita natin kung paano ang isang trahedya ay naging oportunidad para magkaisa tayong mga Pilipino to help, to support, and to embrace one another. At sa nangyaring trahedya sa Vancouver, marami ang agad na nag-respond at tumulong hindi lang sa Canada kundi maging sa ibang panig ng mundo. Let's watch this.
As the tragedy in Vancouver echoed across the world, Filipino communities responded the only way it knew how, with unity, compassion, and the enduring spirit of Bayanihan. The global response was immediate. Filipino communities abroad began to mobilize. Volunteers stepped forward and donations poured in. From various organizations to local churches, help arrived in countless forms. The tragedy of the Lapu-Lapu Day Festival may have shaken a community, but it also revealed the heartbeat of the Filipino people, wherever they are in the world. In the face of tragedy, the Filipino spirit of Bayanihan rises above adversity, paving a path to healing as one.
Of course, we all watched on the news yung mga nangyari sa mga kababayan natin in Vancouver. Do you have any message for them, Angela?
Sa lahat po ng mga kapamilya natin sa Vancouver, ito pong simpleng ginagawa po namin ay hindi po matutumbasan kung ano po yung nangyayari sa inyo, pero sana po wag po tayong panghinaan ng loob, wag po tayong sumuko sa buhay, at lalong-lalo na lagi po nating titignan na laging may liwanag, laging may pag-asa. And nandito po kami, mga kapamilya nyo din po, na patuloy na tutulong at susuporta po sa inyo.
Maraming salamat,
Thank you,
Angela,
Ate
for
Bianca.
joining us. And ikaw ang boses ng napakaraming kabataan.
Salamat
And in fact, di ba, in Vancouver, we saw na karamihan din sa mga nag-volunteer, umaksyon kaagad ay kabataan din. So ang kabataan talaga ay ang ngayon at ang pag-asa ng bayan.
Salamat
Thank you for
po.
sharing your
Thank you
talent
po.
with us. At marami pa tayong mga healing messages and messages of hope after this very short break.
To all our kababayans there in Vancouver, Canada, please know that we are all praying for you and we are here to support you.
Yes, you are in our thoughts and prayers mula nung nangyari yung unfortunate incident dyan. And rest assured na kahit sa maliliit na paraan ay tutulong kami sa inyo.
Hello to our Filipino community in Vancouver. I just want to let you guys know that you are in our thoughts and in our prayers, and we continue to pray for all of you there.
Sa mga kapamilya natin sa Vancouver, pinapahatid ko po ang taus-pusong pakikiramay at panalangin sa panahon ng inyong pagdadalamhati. Naway makatagpo ng kapayapaan ang pamilyang naiwan, ganun din ang mga biktima ng trahedyang ito. Salamat din po sa mga nakikiisa at tumutulong sa pagbangon ng ating mga kapamilya. May you find strength in each other and heal as one in this challenging time. Isang yakap ng pagmamahal mula sa akin para sa Filipino community dyan sa Vancouver.
Healing is not always seen on the surface. Sometimes it happens quietly in the heart, in the soul, at kung minsan nahanap natin ito sa katahimikan, sa pakikipag-usap sa iba, in prayers, and in the kindness we extend to help others. And joining us here in the studio for our call to healing are Dr. Randy De Leosa, psychiatrist, clinical psychologist, psychotherapist, and the executive director of Caritas Philippines and spiritual advisor to many, Father Tito Kaluwag. Hello, Doc. Hello, Fads.
Hi, Bianx. Hi, Bianca.
I know. Thank you for joining us. Of course, two faces and names na very, very familiar ang ating mga kapamilya. Thank you for being here to help us heal as one. Fads, I'd like to start with you. How do you try to see more hope after something like this happens? Kasi ang hirap.
Mahirap. Any tragedy is very difficult to come to terms with. Ano? But I think when you see the people supporting, yon isang bagay yon. Ano? And I think in a situation like this, yung bayanihan importante. No? We hold on to hope, no? Because of that bayanihan. So something to hold on to is very important. No? Moments of crisis always brings out the best in us. No? And yun yung challenge, no? Pag crisis. Crisis would either destroy you or define you.
I love that you said that, Fads, because someone watching this is in that crossroads. Which way will I go? Siyempre, we'd all ideally want to be better and come out better from this. Doc, in all our interviews earlier, they have been mentioning how important mental health is and the support.
And the therapy. A lot of them
And the therapy,
going
yes,
through
very,
therapy,
very open about this. So for those survivors, for the families, how can they, I guess, make sure that they are taking care of their mental health and within the community as well?
At this time, I don't want to use mental health because it seems, of course, too cognitive up in our heads, diba? I want now to use emotional health. Sudden, untimely, nonsensical, diba? This is about all the emotions that they're going through. So this is such a terrible thing. And you know, when we talk about hope and healing, it's not about denying it. It's about going through and healing through the pain. And this will take a long process.
Actually, this conversation comes at such a timely manner because even here in the Philippines, diba, there have been many incidents of tragedies, crashes on the road. Kanina pa din we were talking about support system and how crucial that is in the path for healing. Can you talk a bit about that, Doc Randy?
Think of so many hands forming the net. And these are the people who are going to support the people who are grieving. You know? And it's so good that there are so loving people in Canada, in the Philippines, who are going to support these people who have lost loved ones.
The stories we heard, diba, hindi lang yung mga nasa Vancouver ang tumutulong. Us here from all the way around the world, we are doing this in solidarity with the Filipino community there. And across Canada, diba, nagsusuportahan talaga sila. Amazing to hear. We're all over the globe, and though this particularly happened in Vancouver, parang lahat tayo apektado with everything happening, not just this incident. So I guess I wanted to ask the both of you, how can we collectively, as a nation, heal from everything that is happening?
It's to accept the tragedy. I think that's the first step. No? And I think it's important us to realize that we're not okay. And the need for the support, the need for the therapy. It's always a combination of processing the emotional, the psychological, and not to spiritualize right away. I think that's very, very important. No, I'll just share something.
Wait, this is coming from a priest.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I want to focus on this because tayo mga Pinoy, our faith is so strong that
Yes,
whenever
yeah.
anything happens, tragic, negative, unfortunate, prayer ang default natin.
Which is part of the safety net,
Which is
right,
part,
Dr. Randy?
yes. But
Yeah.
you are saying hindi lang yon.
Hindi lang yon, because sometimes there's a danger to spiritualize, and that doesn't heal. You know, because I've learned this from my own journey. No, my Dr. Dido Villasor.
Right.
When I was going through a burnout 30 years ago, that's what she told me. My role as your therapist is to help you become aware. And part of my role is to help you understand what are the obstacles to grace in your life. I think what I want to tell them is that, number one, you're not alone. And people feel with you. We are here, we're praying for them. We are with them. No, we are one with them, and we're praying for them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Faz.
Thank you.
Doc, how about you?
I think it's important for these people to take time to grieve, okay? Not to rush the process. And then later on, siguro, hopefully, they can find some meaning about this nonsense thing that happened. Some meaning, some hope. And I'd also like to say na if you need to talk about it, there are people who are willing to listen. So, again, our hearts, Father Tito, I, and Bianca, of course, you, all of us, we are with them.
I appreciate you both so much. Thank you so much, Doc Randy. Fads, as always, maraming salamat for sharing your insights, your wisdom. Thank you so much. I'm sure marami kayong natulungan na kababayan, hindi lang sa Canada but around the world, going through something in life. Hindi kayo nag-iisa. Thank you again very much.
Thank you, Biang.
And stay tuned for more inspiring moments. We have more here at Bayanihan, Healing as One.
Healing as One. Ang magkakapamilya hindi nag-iiwanan. Sa mga kababayan natin sa Vancouver, ikinalulungkot namin ang trahedyang ito. But even in the darkest moments, always remember that hope endures. Carried in the hands that help, the voices that comfort, and the spirits that refuse to be broken. Nakikiisa ako sa mga kapamilya natin sa buong mundo sa panalangin para sa tuluyang paghilom ng inyong mga puso.
Hello to all our fellow kababayans in Vancouver, in Canada. I'm with you in this. My prayers are with you, with all of you. Those who are left behind, my heart goes out to you. I know for a fact that God is very close to those who are brokenhearted and those who are crushed in spirit. And I'm praying that in the midst of this, all of this, that you would feel an embrace that you've never felt before. And that you would actually feel His finger running through your cheeks as He wipes your tears. I love you. God bless all of you.
Sa mga kababayan po natin dyan sa Vancouver, gusto ko lang po sabihin na kasama po kami sa pagdadasal po sa mga naapektuhan. Never lose hope, just keep praying and keep hoping.
Sa ating mga kapatid dyan sa Vancouver, Canada, yung ating mga Phil-Canadians na dumadaan po ngayon sa pagsubok, aming pagdarasal ay ihatid po namin sa inyo. Sana po manatili kayo malakas, magdasal, at andito po kami para pagdasal po kayo lahat. God bless po. Ingat po.
To all my kapamilya in Vancouver, this is Martin. And I just wanted to let you know that my heart breaks for you and my heart beats for you. Stay united as one kapamilya. Keep the faith strong in each other. Be there for each other. Now to quote the great Ben and Ben, wounds of the past will eventually heal, and all will be alright in time. I said all will be alright in time. All will be alright in time. God bless you all.
Para po sa lahat ng aming mga kababayan dyan sa Vancouver, Canada, kami po'y nagdadalamhati dito sa Pilipinas sa nangyari po sa inyo at lalo na po sa inyong mga pamilya na pumanaw. Kayo po'y pinagdarasal namin sa araw-araw na sana'y haplusin ng Panginoon ang inyong mga puso. Nandito po kami para makirami po sa inyo at yakapin kayo para malaman nyo kung gaano namin kayo kamahal at pinapahalagahan. Huwag po kayo mawala ng pag-asa dahil lagi po nandito ang Panginoon para yakapin at mahalin tayo. Kami po'y nakikiramay sa inyo.
When we show up for one another, we remind ourselves, hindi tayo nag-iisa. May karamay tayo, may kaagapay tayo, because in a world that often breaks us apart, the Bayanihan spirit brings us back together, and in togetherness, we heal. So let us continue the Bayanihan spirit. Let us continue healing as one. I'm Bianca Gonzalez, and as we close this special episode of BRGY, we pray that healing continues in our hearts, our minds, and our spirits, and that we continue lifting each other up.
Filipino pop sensation, Beanie, live in concert across North America. Beanieverse World Tour. See Beanie performing in a city near you. Get your tickets now at beanie.global. Don't miss your chance to see Beanie on their first world tour.
H-E-R-R-Y, good ingredients are hard to find.